Have you ever wondered how to make an immersive 3D website like this, with some central object that scrolls down the page and guides the user through the website to take action? Well, that's what we'll be looking at today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you through the process that I took to make this website, and we're going to do the whole explanation within 10 minutes so that you guys can get building ASAP. All the assets for this are in the description. There's Cloneables, and there's more information there. So obviously have a look down there, but ask any questions in the comments below if there's anything that I didn't cover in this video. Okay, let's jump in. So I started off in Spline, which is a browser-based 3D tool so that you can create all sorts of interesting things. You can do animations for logos. You can do some quite interesting things with different textures. You can create GIFs. You can do all sorts. So here's what I did, is I had an idea for this strawberry website. I was craving strawberries. And so I created this gigantic strawberry. Okay, so again, this can be cloned. So if you go to the community page, you'll see loads and loads of incredible things that you can clone. If you're not confident with 3D yet, I recommend just getting in here, understanding how people are building stuff, and you can actually remix their file and potentially just use that for your project, just to try stuff out. Okay, so I created the strawberry in there. And the reason why I started with that is because when it comes to actually doing the design, that was the main asset that I was using. And I thought, oh, if I have that to start with, everything's going to be a bit easier to think about the positioning of everything and the layout. So I went from Spline, creating the asset, to this website actually called Rayloom. Now Rayloom is pretty interesting. You can type in a sentence. So let's say a bakery focused on strawberry cakes and baked goods. Okay, now I type in generate into that and I get a sitemap and a wireframe, which is incredible. Look how quickly this is to use. Indulge in our strawberry cake delights. It's already created our copy as well. So we've got these different pages. We can generate other pages for the about page and stuff, but for this website, I've only got one single page, right? Now, look how easy this is to use. If I click on a section, I can replace the component by simply choosing one of their many different components that they have for each section. You see it says layout for. I can replace component. Look how many different components there are. Incredible. If I wanted to change the copy, I can do that in here. I can literally double click like it's a Word document. I can delete things. It's pretty amazing what you can do. So once I had a solid design from here, I actually exported this to Figma. So once you click export, there's a file that you'll get asked to duplicate inside Figma, which is basically the Rayloom style guide. Now inside this, you have all the different sections that they also have in here. So it means that you can seamlessly, add to your design or actually fill out your design. You can edit the colors, you can edit layouts a little bit easier in here. And that's what I did in this in this platform in Figma. Now, the reason why I didn't just edit everything in here, you can do quite a lot of editing in here. In fact, they've got a style guide which is in beta. So what you can do is you can apply colors. If I wanted this to be an image, I can upload an image. You can do quite a lot inside here. The problem with this though is that it's not quite as intuitive or easy to edit all the granular details that you can inside Figma, which is why I prefer to do it in Figma. You can skip out this step though if you are like, you know what, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go from Rayloom into development. So we've got a pretty solid design at this stage. Okay, we know a little bit about what's going to happen, how our object is going to behave. I've taken screenshots of the strawberry, so I've just gone into my file and I've just exported an image. So you see it says export, and then down here at the bottom it says image. And I can choose PNG. I can show the background color if I want, or I can hide it. I just chose to hide it. And then that way, I've got screenshots of all the different positions of the strawberry that I want as I scroll down the page. I also made these little GIFs, which are quite fun. So these I also made using Spline. And you can export GIFs super easily. So this currently is the total strawberry. You see it's got strawberry top, seed, strawberry. What we can do is we can actually click on states. We've got base state and state. Now let's just go base state. This position's great. On state, we're going to rotate this to this position, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the scene size to be 1080 by 1080. And I'm going to click the strawberry again. We've got base state to state, and then we've got events down here. So if you click plus, start, transition, okay, and then I'm going to add a new transition, in fact. And I'm going to change this to go from the base state to the state in 3 seconds. Amazing. All right. Now what I can then do is export this as a GIF. And that's how you can actually have GIFs on your site so that it just looks a little bit more dynamic and interesting without just this embed. Okay, I've got 2 minutes to explain this final part. Okay, so let's say we've got a design that we like inside here, and we know all the different assets that we're going to use. We've got a really good idea in Figma what we're going to do. Well, what you can then do is go back to Rayloom. If you click the top, Command C, and I'm going to show you on a new page. And then I'm just going to click Command V. Now you can do this. This platform is built for Webflow, but they're also adding React and all sorts. So see if it works for your platform of choice if you're not using Webflow. But you can see how quickly we've created a website. Now look at this. It's fully responsive. Okay. Now, how this works is I've got a style guide which I've set for the home page of the project. So I've got a huge heading and all sorts of different things that are going on here. So I recommend starting with the style guide and then going into editing your project from there. How you actually do this spline asset though is you have a what I do is I put a section that is 100% 100 viewport width and 100 viewport height, and then I've centered that element in a flex. And then what I've got here is my spline asset, which is fixed to the middle of the page, and I've got it while page is scrolling. I've got my asset doing various different things. So from the start, it's here, and then it grows at 25%. In fact, let's preview this so you can actually see. 0, you see up here on the right, we've got 25%. So at 25% of the way down the page, it is it's slightly lower. It's twisted 3.6. You see how I've got 3.6 down here. So you've got to play with this as you start animating your scene. And obviously, the more pages you have, the longer your page scroll is going to be. So just keep that in mind as you start animating. But you can use images from your Spline asset. You can use an embed from your Spline asset. You can make GIFs from your Spline asset. So it's important to think about all the different ways that you can actually use your asset in your design. Okay, that's 11 minutes. I've gone over 10. Sorry, guys. If you guys have any questions about this, obviously let me know in the comments. I kind of whipped through that explanation there, so there was a lot to unpack. If you're interested in more of this type of thing, I've got a newsletter where I explain, actually this was the one that I most recently sent out, explaining all sorts of different things. And I've also got loads and loads of clonables, like I say, on my community page, which hopefully are of interest if you're interested in this type of thing. In fact, you can literally recreate this whole website if you use the assets that are clonable in here so far. I'm going to keep adding to these, so feel free to go and check it out as and when it's helpful. Cheers, guys. Have an amazing day. And if you do make a 3D website, please send it to me. I would honestly love to see it. And, if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. I'll see if I can help. Cheers. Bye.